All right, you guys, well, welcome back to Wednesday Words. For those of you who've been following along, you know we've been in Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And we are actually going to skip over a few, actually just one chapter. We're going to go into chapter 6, verses 19 through 21. And over the next few weeks, we're going to look at treasures in heaven and God and money and light and dark and generosity. And it's all kind of really just in one thematic section here, but it's really exciting when you begin to see how each of these pieces come together. So we'll just take a few verses today, and this is out of Matthew 6, verses 19 through 21, and it says this: "Don't store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys and where thieves don't break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." So remember, Jesus is standing on this mountainside and he is teaching these crowds. And I love this illustration because it's so incredibly simple. He's like, do store up treasure in heaven because thieves are not going to break in and steal and moths are not going to destroy. And he says, don't store up treasures on earth because thieves will break in and steal and moths will destroy. So essentially what Jesus is saying here is store up treasure where things will be eternal. Store up things that matter forever. Don't build your entire life and store your treasure based on things that will not last, that will be temporary. And I've had this awesome opportunity to office out of a house recently and to write out of this house. And I have this little room and it's in this 100-year-old home and it's awesome. The only problem with this space is that the house is going to be torn down in a year. So I want to redo the floors. I want to put a cool light fixture up. I want to do all of these cool things to this space. But every time I go to spend that money or to put that kind of investment in, I think, you know what, this is going to be torn down in a year. So I am creating a really special place, but I'm doing it all with the mindset of this is very temporary. And that has changed my investment, and that makes sense to us. What I think sometimes when we look at verses like this, we think of, well, how do we store up treasure in heaven? How do we store up in a place that we haven't been to? And it just seems kind of foreign to us. But I want to remind you today, and this is really, really cool, that the only place, and this is ironic, the only place that we can store up treasure in heaven from is from earth. It's the only place. Earth is the only place that we can store up treasure in heaven from. And so our lifetime is our opportunity to do that. And so I just want to encourage you guys today to store up treasure that will last for eternity. It makes me think about when Mary of Bethany was sitting at Jesus' feet and Martha was busy. And Jesus said to Martha, he said, listen, Mary is sitting at my feet and she is listening to what I have to say, and it will never be taken from her. The moment that Mary spent with Jesus on earth would never be taken from her. It would be an eternal treasure that she would have forever. So just want to encourage you today to orient your lives around what will last forever.